One of the big ideas in the book is that reputation is an outcome of who you really are, who a company really is. Reputation is not a construct to be managed. We interviewed Alistair Campbell, Tony Blair's former director of communications, and his view was that some of the spin, some of the tactics that worked in that era would not have served his boss as well today. This is the era of transparency, and you have to be radically authentic to really connect with society.
This is about achieving cut-through in reaching those audiences, using direct means and being extremely transparent in your purpose. One pharmaceutical company that we spoke to in the book had a regulator who was concerned with a specific drug. So rather than simply battle it out through the courts with the regulator, they took all of the private information in their company, all of the research, and made it public on the web. And that re-established credibility and trust with the regulator and with the consumers.
We learned a lot of lessons over my time with BP, and I think industry is still learning these lessons about how to engage, how really to engage with society and populations, and how to do it radically. My first experience with how not to engage was in a very tough situation in Colombia. At the time, it was heavily controlled, the area that we were in, by the guerrilla groups working for the narcotics gangs. And they were a parastate. I mean, they really were not under the control of the government. We made a lot of errors from the very beginning. That first, because it was out of control, there were no laws, and so we didn't have to take very seriously all the environmental regulations, how wrong we were. That was the first problem. Second problem was that because it was unsafe, why didn't we just, when we developed, build everything we needed and put it behind rows and rows and rows of barbed wire and high fences? The problem with that is we locked ourselves in and we couldn't actually speak to the people outside. So we immediately created an us and them situation. The difference is our experiences in West Papua. Again, a very difficult place to work. We were not trusted because foreigners always cause trouble. So we struck upon a very simple idea, which was to have an independent commission representing the affected parties with distinguished and trusted people. And we set about doing the following: asking them to appraise what the company was doing and to report their results out without showing them to the company first. In other words, to be really independent. And over time, they became very trusted. And by their examination of what was going on, they actually made both sides understand what both sides needed. And that was a very important step. It's about radical engagement. I'd go so far as to say, if you feel comfortable about in the engagement, it's not radical enough. You've really got to get to the point where you really are pushing the envelope.